my mind is free to sail across terabytes of reality, to soar above a pixel land in a rocket ship. The 999 made of megabits. Ladies and gentlemen, leave the world and bring your friends. Step inside and close the door. Shut it out, plug it in, press start and we're flying. No use for your wars, it's love, 'cause we build digital castles in the sky as we float on timeless satellites. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause virtual is where we live, live, live. 'Cause
Give that a minute to catch up. It's gloomy, but it's not a thunderstorm, so no sleeping here if I wanted to. Now, I just wanted to say, before I get too carried away, the bans list is no longer empty. Yeah, if you don't follow the rules and you do things like blowing up my base, you will be banned. And as for the restoration of it, backups. And just so everybody knows, the basically the laggy nature of 1.14 really helped a lot. So I know exactly which accounts were responsible for that. It's in the server crash log. And in addition to that, my particular server host does in fact do a daily backup, which allowed me to undo all the damage easily. There's 4 accounts on the list. 2 of them may have just simply gotten caught in a crossfire, but the other 2, I know for a fact that you were here, so your ban is permanent. The other 2 accounts, if you come and talk to me about it, I might be willing to give you another chance. Gonna have to do this in the rain. I was thinking if I was on one of those more popular servers, I'd be like, okay, who started recording? Well, this time I think I'm guilty as charged. And today, first things first, I think I should probably summon in some iron golems before I get too carried away. I would really prefer them to not be naturally spawned because that can be problematic. Oh, weather cleared. Two, 3. This should end up as being more or less in the middle of the village. 4. I'm at summon 6 altogether, I think. I was going to go and snag a bell from a village, but that's completely unnecessary because you can buy one. According to my single-player world, librarians and most of the guys with the black aprons sell them. Now, I can't do like I did in my single-player world and go raid my double chest filled with chocolate boxes full of emerald blocks. Can't do that here, I don't have that. So it's going to be a little bit tougher. Morning voice coupled with a lot of piss nasal drip. Fun. I might be being a little sarcastic on that one. Yeah. And I was thinking, since they're not doing anything right now, since the iron farm no longer works, I don't need a breeder. I can just go snag them from over there. And for anybody who ever watches the replay or whatever, the reason I'm not flying is because this is 1.14, and with the way chunk loading is in 1.14, it's better to just walk everywhere. I've had problems even with my creative account and spectator account, the account that actually has op. So for the moment, I wouldn't recommend doing anything in spectator mode. A little bit of rubber banding. It's not as bad when you're walking. If you try to fly, it can be the death of you. One of these is just full of scaffolding blocks. The other one's got rails and I forgot to grab glass. Made it this far, I'll go over there and then deposit this and then grab some glass. I don't believe the griefing was a targeted attack. I think it's some knuckleheads that just find random servers they can get on to log on, and then their whole point in logging in is to grief. I will, of course, be taking a different path with the villagers. I'm not going to run them all the way around here. I'll run them up and over that wall. What? Turtle's just turtling it up. Whatever it is that they do. I was also thinking I would take the one out of a far section first. The single villagers I'm probably going to do last. But I think like this one I believe is a nitwit. Maybe. I'm not sure if he's just unemployed or if he is a nitwit. But I was going to start on this side. The nice thing about having most of the boardwalk in is that I got a platform to stand on. Not sure if you guys can hear that, but the water softener is now running. I'm not sure how that thing decides when to run. But basically, back to my story over the weekend. When they were griefing my base, the entities on the ground really lagged the server hard anyways. And 1.14 is just laggy in general, which means the server would crash and restart itself. When the server crashes and reboots, it does take a log of the crash event, and it also tells you how many players were online, their IGNs, and their coordinates. And two of the accounts that I suspected are guilty, their coordinates were here. But I logged in and all this was destroyed, and that tower over there was destroyed, and they kept getting kicked because the server kept rebooting. But I don't know how, but somehow they duplicated a bunch of TNT. There was a couple double chests full still here. And fortunately, at first, when I was logging in and I had trouble, I knew something was up. And so I went and banned the players that had been on in the time frame in question. And then I manually went and redid my base, because at the time I didn't know how to restore from backup. And I I went and laid down for bed, and then I had an epiphany. I bet that's in the server's crash log. And so I went and checked it, and that's how I found out how to restore from backup. Oh, and I found a problem over here that was causing a bunch of lag too. There was stuff getting stuck in one of the droppers in the dropper fader down below. Speaking of which, I think I'm gonna go check that while I wait on the sun to go down for my next nap. It's running. Yeah, redstone running is very laggy. .1.14 could also be known as the Lagtastic update. A little bit of my drink. Okay. Alright, now back over to the iron farm to grab the villagers out of it. Should be good on iron for a little while. I've got like eight shulker boxes filled with iron blocks plus the other iron that's in that particular chest. And I did finally get around to actually installing the command block setup for something at spawn. I physically built the Iron Titan in survival, and then I brought in my other account to set up the command blocks. I set it up as an AFK farm rather than one that it runs all the time, just so the server's not running all the time. There's some weird issues with running command blocks and having the golems just spawned in constantly. Something to do, I think it might have just been because of the change to the way the spawn chunks worked, but I'd rather not risk it and lag out the server. So if anybody logs in and wants iron, there is actually a small little stone brick room with a stone pressure plate you go stand on. I tried to make it so that they aren't constantly spawning in, but you still get a pretty good rate because there's 6 different spawn locations. So you should be able to get quite a bit of iron. Come here, chunks. Load, please. So Rich should be over here. Can I have my chunks, please? The reason for calling the stream last week was it was a stressful week for me. Alright, this box. Yep. Let's see. So that would be underneath of them. And this is why we brought our scaffolding. Let's see, so the track would go there. See now, powered rail. See now, powered rail, so I went to non-powered rail there, and then this would be the launch spot. Buttons, some rails, more rails. that. Nope. Nope. Let's see. So down there and across. And they should fall right on top of that block. Alright. Partially complete. So I can get up to there. Let's see. I think I want basically the rest of the track into netherrack. Tell you what if I put the netherrack in first? Oh, lever. So that those rails are powered. So this way mostly. Should probably bring torches. Gonna have to go up anyways at some point. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go grab more torches here. Probably be a good idea. Do that before we get zombies spawning on their netherrack scaffolding and killing things. This seems like a good idea. That's one thing I forgot to put in any of those suckers. A little bit of rubber banding here and there. The streaming has nothing to do with that. It does that. I was looking through the forums for the server host, Bisect, and they actually recommend everybody stay on 1.12.2. So 1.13 was pretty laggy, and 1.14 is even worse. And on the actual spot on the admin panel on Multicraft, it actually says extremely laggy. Submit a ticket to find out more information. And I find it hilarious, actually, that 1.14 being so laggy actually helped me identify exactly who the griefers were. A lot of the lag from the redstone updates is because I've got the sugarcane farm and the pumpkin and mullein farm tied directly into storage, which means it runs all the time. I know in 1.13 the pumpkin farm didn't work very well. Actually at all, because you have a block over, at the time you have a block over top of the pumpkin grow block and it won't grow. Or the stem. Which has been fixed. Yeah, the rubber banding is a little bit worse now. Because I'm streaming. Did figure out I was having trouble with streams, or I was watching a streamer and he was having a bunch of problems, and I wasn't sure if it was his end or mine. And so I ran some testing, and I found out that with my current internet connection that I have, I get latency spikes. Latency spikes well over 1,000 milliseconds. Which is actually probably why I received a letter at one point that said you're not supposed to host a game server from your house. I will say this, if you're looking for a good server host, Minecraft server host that's relatively inexpensive, Bisect Hosting. This particular server, it's actually their $20 server, but I have a discount coupon for 50% off. I don't have any affiliate links or anything to give you guys, but I've always been rather happy with my service. My only real complaint is the virtualization, but everybody does that. Unless you actually own the physical hardware box, it's probably virtualized. While it makes sense unless you cram more servers into a box, for gaming servers in particular, the thing to remember is that you still only have the physical resources of the one box. In the extreme obsession to virtualize everything, that is one thing people tend to forget. You still only have the physical resources of the one server. It's great for some things, not so great for others. That'll work. I was thinking the other day, technically speaking, if it wasn't for the phantoms added in 1.13, I probably wouldn't bother with sleeping. Mostly because within the walls of my own base, it's usually pretty well lit. I've been known to light up the spawn chunks too. Just watch that sun bounce up and down. Sure what direction I want to go next. I think I'm gonna wait until I'm past that tower there. If I don't have enough netherrack on me, I'll go grab more. Got a ways to go, but I think I need to go find a bed. That's also I'm thinking I might as well disable the clock that shuts off the iron farm, since that whole thing has changed. And it's going to be cranking in the yeah, let's see, right back here. Favorite new block. Scaffolding. I don't know if you can place rails on scaffolding, but for this it's easier to just use full blocks. I think it was Jeb tweeted the other day about what did he do before the scaffolding blocks, and a lot of people were like, oh yeah, you use dirt. That's actually one of those things that makes me different. I've never used dirt as scaffolding in the overworld. It's because when you're dealing in the overworld, generally grass spreads, and then you don't know, is that a scaffolding block or is that just part of the terrain when you go to clean it up? So I've always found something that stands out like netherrack to be a much better choice. Let's see, I'm going to need to go up a bit more. Maybe a little more than that too. Thank you for the follow. I'm going to go up a little bit more. Congratulations, you've ranked up in your own channel. Okay. Okay then. A little more. How much do we have up? We ought to be good. I think this clears everything. Maybe. I could see it being a little bit short too. Isn't that how it goes? And there we are. That takes a little more than I thought. I was going to try and drop them off closer to the middle of town. Try and not kill the grass. I think I'm about at the height. I think I might need to go with one more. One more maybe? Exactly enough. I'm going to start with laying rail at the other end. It's mostly the uphill parts that I really need the powered rail for. And then there at the end it can be all unpowered rail all the way down. Alright. I think it's all down below. Then, no, for things like corners, you definitely need it to be unpowered rails, since they really don't go around corners all that well. Does that power all the way? No. I don't need that right now. I'm not sure I'm having enough power rail to go the whole way. So I'll switch to some unpowered for a while here. Not that it matters, I'm going to be chasing. Yeah, no, I'm probably never getting these levers back. Hmm. I'm gonna need more rails. Not necessarily powered rails, but more rails in general. Okie dokie. That should be fine. Alright, let's go across some more regular rail. If I need more beds, I have more beds, but I don't have any more buildings for beds. I'm not sure how it's going to center. I think some of those beds may be too far away. Yep. Got turned around. Some stickage. Good. More sticks. Alright. That should be more than enough. That's my chest. So the idea behind getting him in the middle of town rather than at the edge is so that it's more centered correctly, theoretically. Now I believe their detection range is an 80 by 80, but I think that's more than 100 blocks. So, we shall see. I mean, worst case scenario, I could probably steal some rail from there, but I don't think I need it. So I was just thinking, that's actually something on my to-do list as well. I know some people wonder why Mixer rather than, say, Twitch or YouTube. I don't have a command for that right now. But, in the event anybody actually watches this part of the video, personally, I find Twitch to be very, well, I can watch 2 or 3 separate Mixer streams at source quality and still do other things. With Twitch, as it stands right now, I try to watch one stream at source quality, and I can't use the computer for anything else besides watching that stream. Alright, that ought to do. Back to where my villagers are, my first half of the villagers. Then I was gonna put glass down to make sure they land on that block. Don't really care about my slime block right now. I have a fairly decent quantity of that available. I believe that door was getting powered by the redstone. Now use glass because if I don't, it'll spray everywhere. I'll have villagers everywhere. I don't think I'm going to need that right now. Put that away for the moment. Update that. No. Okay. Actually, I put that away and now I do need it. Nope. Then I think if I break this block out, alright, and now begins the tedious process of taking over the villagers over. Put my glass in there. I don't think I'm gonna need to put that piece of glass back. Oh. I mean, Kurt. Put the levers away. It's gonna do this one villager at a time, just so they don't pile up or accidentally kill each other by landing on top of each other. Or send themselves back up the rail. A little rubber band to give them a little nudge. That's fine. I'm slow and tedious because I want these guys to live. Apparently that guy's been traded with. Ow. Off you go. Oh. Off you go. Have fun. So originally I was going to do a villager breeder for this, but because of the changes to the way villagers work, the iron farm no longer works, which means I don't need all those villagers over there anymore. Slow and tedious process of sending villagers over one at a time. There are 45 beds available. I don't know if they're all in range, and I don't know that that's going to be enough because in my single player world, as I traded with the villagers, they kept reproducing. And in that particular village, I have no idea if I have enough beds or not. I know I don't have enough workstations. There's only like 5. You know what? I bet I can make that run across. It stuck out all the way across. One too many. Put you away too. Next. Unemployed guy. Where's my big? No, I'm pretty sure this is an unemployed guy. He won't be for long. He's got options as to what he wants to do. If I had someone else working with me, I'd be more willing to send more than one at a time, but since it's just me. What job did you take? A cleric. Ah, okay. Hello, Mr. Cleric. Enjoy your new home. Welcome to your new village. I'm gonna have to do a full day-night cycle to make sure that they all find beds. That's gonna be fun. I mean, if the AI was smarter, I'd have these villagers chomping at the bit to go there. They get jobs and beds and some safety. They're not going to be eaten by zombies, most likely, I think. Oh, what career will you go on? Oh, and they also all get free healthcare. A little bit of lag. Free healthcare, full protection, and when can we move in? May switch back to stick for a while here. A little low on gold. Another cleric? Yeah. Could ride the rails back, but there's no powered rails in this section, and then I have to stop the cart before we get to the collection device. I think there's room for like 3 or 4 clerics. Might only be 2, I can't remember how many I put. I might have trouble getting any of them to be farmers. I'm not sure yet. It's actually kind of reminds me a bit of my season 1 base where I had basically free range villagers. Everybody except for my mending guy. The mending guy went in my library under lockdown. That takes me back. While all the other villagers got to run around, one guy was up in a minecart in an elevated location surrounded by torches. I suppose I could have also encased that guy in obsidian. Oh, what job will you take? They're spreading out quite a bit. Ooh, librarian! A flame book. That's not a bad trade. And now there's a baby villager. Yep. Should probably go find a bed here. Gee, where am I going to find a bed around here? Go wait a little bit longer. Have a drink here. I'm getting a bit toasty in my room. Temperatures, because I give off a lot of heat anyways, and I've got all the electronics, and then there's no ductwork in my room, and no windows either. Next. I think I've got space for like 10 librarians or something like that. Yeah, I had a bad feeling that this. I may end up having way too many villagers. Because they do breed on their own. Hello there, Mr. Unemployed Guy. You won't be for long. Quite a bit of lag there. Yes, I know, there's unexplored caves. Looks like we have another librarian. Maybe. Oh no, you wanted to be a shepherd, okay. I think I would probably run into the, they keep bumping each other because of unloaded chunks. Because, I know a lot of people would say this is really large, but for me this is average. Average sized, all built in survival. Long ago, these guys were part of... Their ancestors were part of a village north of Spawn. I think most of them should be unemployed. I'm not sure how I ended up with a guy that wasn't unemployed. Not sure. Might have something to do with trying to get the number of villagers up for the iron farm. Do some trading. Jeez. Yeah, if I go check the server console log, it'll say, can't keep up. Is the server overloaded? Running X number of milliseconds behind, skipping so many ticks. As long as it doesn't crash. That console spam actually started in 1.9. Didn't have that problem in 1.8. 1.9 and above. And the higher the version, the worse it gets. Go on, find yourself a job. Ah, librarian. Excellent, excellent. Bookshelf is one of your first trades. Okay, okay. Could have used him earlier. And all of this is really meant to be experienced on foot. Years ago, I swore I would start building smaller. That hasn't happened yet. It's about the same size and possibly larger, just way more intricate. Next. Sorry if I interrupted your convo there. I could do a legitimate 114 iron farm, but I think I prefer my solution. For simplicity. For simplicity's sake, and it's not running all the time. It's a lot less work. For now. I may build with 114 iron farm at some point, although if I was going to build one anywhere, it would probably be in my first world, not here. Like much. Ah! Ow! Ah, another librarian. I hope he's okay. Knocking my thermometer around. It's a bit slow, I know, but it's one of those things that need to be done. Looks like I might have a nitwit in there. So far I haven't pulled one out, but whatever. I might just let them mingle. It's good for their gossip score, I guess. One list of things I can't remember. I can't remember if there's a unique forest skin or if it just uses the plain skin or what. So from one side, they are completely protected from things such as raids. From the other direction, not so much, because they'll spawn within the walls. Are you going to pick a job here? There's plenty of jobs. Ah, librarian. May run into problems where parts of it are just out of their detection range. I was watching a guy play Terraria the other day, and he got the warning that the building was too big, which they didn't know there was an upper limit. And I was thinking, yeah, that's probably to keep you from building something that for me in Minecraft would be average sized. Large enough to house an entire woodland mansion inside the building. I have done that before. In my season 1, the unfinished ice palace, as I called it, that building is large enough to where if you're standing in the middle of the entry hallway, because it's glass up above, you'll get phantom spawning inside the building. On the plus side, anything that spawns up on the upper deck would fall to its death if it tried to come after you. Playing around with FTB utilities and it limits you to 1,000 chunks, and I'm like, 1,000 chunks? That'll go by really fast. That won't even hold on my one base. What kind of job are you gonna get? Or are you just gonna wander around for a little while? There are available stations, but I'm not sure what he's gonna pick. Whatever. Okay. I don't have a meeting place at the moment. See if I can get one more guy before I go ahead and have a nap. Yeah, these guys don't have beds either. There's a bed, but they can't get to it. Come on, little fella, let's go. You might be experiencing lag when you can keep up with a minecart on foot. Just a little further and you'll have a bed you can go to. And hopefully we don't try to pick the same bed. While I was playing around in my single player world, I did some experimenting in if you suffocate the leader with, say, gravel or sand instead of killing him outright, they do drop the banner, but you do not get the bad omen effect. Oh, bed's occupied. That bed's occupied too. This one? No. Occupied! That's not gonna work. Not sure why they haven't picked jobs yet. Hard to say. Could be that corners detection problem that's supposed to be fixed in 1.14.1. That is quite a ways that guy has wandered. They should never leave the walled area because they would either have to go for a swim or they would have to go over carpets with a too high drop underneath. And mobs, at least they didn't used to, they won't go over that because they just see it as a whole. I'm not sure on the new Pillagers or the Ravager. Because of its size, the Ravager might not have any problems with that, although that is, I believe, a 4-block wide gap too. I might be bringing them in faster than they can find jobs. Just a little bit of rubber banding. Might not be a bad idea to pause bringing villagers over and see about getting a bell. As I recall, you can get them from a librarian. I'm gonna need some emeralds and paper. Problem is, there's no real center to that. My original plan was to have them locked in minecarts permanently at various locations and trade with them, but that was before they changed the trading mechanics. Minecraft must have decided I don't need that chunk. Emeralds and paper. Paper. Yeah, sugar full of paper, but whatever. Put that away. Might need some books. Maps and exploration books. I don't have much in the way of just books. Okay. Okay, fine. We'll make some books. That'll be plenty. Might be able to get a few emeralds for that. Okay, let's go see what they'll trade for. See if I can unlock the bell on one of those guys. I think for the time being I'm going to attach it to the side of like that post over there. Okay, where is the library? There's one. Nope, you're a shepherd. Hello. What do I see? I don't have enough emeralds for that. No, 6 emeralds. I need to trade with you. I'm out of rotten flesh. Wasn't there one guy that was doing paper? Yeah. That's not a whole lot of paper. Okay, let's go grab more resources than that then. Grabbed a little bit, but apparently that wasn't enough. I believe over here is actually far enough away to where that is either lazily loaded chunks or unloaded. Build smaller, I said. It'll be better for you to go much smaller, I said. And then I built it just as big as the last time. I'm gonna take all of that with me and just to try to get some more of those. Paper and that. That should do for now. I don't know if I have a Fletcher yet or not. We'll find out. A little more rubber banding. I figure it's worse than usual because I'm streaming. Yeah, shepherd. Butcher. I don't have any rotten chicken. Armor. I don't need any armor at the moment. Let's see, I think you were the paper guy. I would lot of paper, Gibby. Loyalty 2, lantern. I don't think it'll unlock your next trade if I do that. Nah. Have to find cleric. Need more emeralds. There's a parts over here. Books. I got a few books. Emerald for ink sacks and emerald for glass. So you're probably not going to offer the bell, are you? Did you level up? No. What will you take? Emeralds for armors. Alright. Go grab a bunch of leather, I guess. Need to get that bell so that way we can have a meeting point. At the moment, there is no meeting point. Just sort of wander around freely, go to your workstations at one point, and then wander around some more, and then go to bed. I think I can make a few more books. So one guy had book trade for emeralds. I think they all found workstations to use. So I haven't seen any unemployed guys, so I think they probably found jobs. Rubber band. Yeah, where he is, I'm not sure. Multi-shot, you take paper, so... Paper. Not you either. There was another villager over that way, but I think he went to bed. Excuse me, I'm borrowing your bed. It's your bed. Yeah, there was a lump in your bed. Let's see, where else? Here, villager. don't know where he is. You. I already did that. An efficiency 5 book. That's not a bad trade. I see you. Go burn through the emeralds, but written book for an emerald. Yeah, finding these guys is gonna be a little tough. You're a shepherd. Okay, you're my shepherd. Guys, just leave the doors open. Jeez. Were you guys raised in a barn? My cleric. One of them. How many gold at the moment? You must be the guy I just traded with. Do none of you guys have a bell? Jeez. Heh, I don't have any emeralds. He's working today. You don't trade paper. You took a lot of paper. How about you? You ready? You ready to go? I'm out of paper. Nah, not really what I'm looking for. Actually, let's go trade with the armorer if I can find him. Cleric. Or was he over that way? Yeah, I didn't think you would level up. Butcher. Raw pork chops. Not a lot of luck on that bell. I don't have a ton of gold either, so. I am completely out of emeralds. Do you remember rules for that? And I don't have any paper either. Let's see. I don't have any book and quill. I should have feathers, and I think there's ink sacs. Or I could go carry on with what I was working on earlier. Which I think is what I'm gonna go do. And for those who dislike diorite, there is now a use for diorite in the game in vanilla, besides burning. You can trade it for emeralds. Bricks and bookshelves. The lanterns, I think I stuck all that in, not that chests. Bunch of those. I don't actually have a trash can at the moment. Sugar full of nothing, because I used all my paper. More glass. Well, since we're out of materials to trade, let's go back to our original scheduled activity of, well, fetching more of those guys. Yeah, trade for a little bit. I will come up with a bell at some point later on, but if I can't get it through trading at all, I'm gonna go find a village that is new generation and go steal theirs. Shouldn't be that hard to find a village. It's large biomes world type, and in large biomes, things like villages tend to be more frequent. Because there's more opportunity. I want to say there's a taiga biome village to the east of here that I haven't been to. I'm not sure if I've been by it enough to have it loaded though. The biggest drawback to that chunk loading issue is just because my base is so large, there are a lot of chunks to load. One of these times it's going to rubber band, and because of my movements, I'm going to fall off. I was doing some testing yesterday in my single player world because I have a redstone room filled with samples of things there, and in the final release version of 1.14 those older item elevators with the dropper pointed up through the glass still work. In the snapshots things would squirt out the sides. Off you go. Because on my to-do list was fix the item elevator at the blaze farm, but I think I don't really need that after my testing. And yes, all of this land underneath me is lit. That would be great if you could make blocks into light sources. I could clear up all the torch spam. every 5 blocks. Next guy. And worst case scenario, I do have a shulker box full of bits. How do you know you've made your villagers happy? When you have baby villagers all over the place. They're doing a fair amount of wandering here. Fortunately, there's this nice big old wall there, and they can't go any further than that. Yes, on my to-do list as well. I'd need to grow a bunch of spruce. Again. Yeah, I leveled a forest and that wasn't enough oak. Got plenty of dirt. And after you get deposited, we break your cart and go find a bed. Hopefully I can find one that's not occupied. Plenty of workstations, it's just a matter of letting them find one. It's actually on the list of things I've never done. Gone hardcore grabbing as many emeralds as I can. The only reason I have so many in my single player first world is because it was a modded world at one point. And one of the mods I had an emerald dimension. Alright, let's see if I can find a bed. I don't know whose bed that is. Nope. Maybe. I'll use that bed. Come on now. Obviously the villagers are happy because there's baby villagers running around. You guys would have plenty of food if any of you would go over there and become farmers. They're definitely wandering to the north. They don't appear to be doing a whole lot of wandering to the south. And the reason I can tell you the direction without having to use the F3 screen is because I've done enough wandering around my base and I know what's in what direction to what. The Guardian Farm and the old Iron Farm are all northwest of the central tower. And the main gate is on the north side of it, too. It also helps to have a fairly strong memory. It's kind of how I remember that if you do a vanilla skyblock in the latest versions of Minecraft with phantoms, just build everything below sea level. You'll be fine. In a regular world like this, because sea level's at its regular location, everything is built above sea level. Basically, all I did between streams was finish this out and also the diagonal section of the wall over by my storage area. And I seem to be sort of using this as a meeting area. That works. I mean, that's kind of where I was going to put it anyway. And now all the golems are way over there. I didn't get that advancement because I built an iron golem before. There's a slime farm down in the mineshaft at Spawn Town. I don't know how much there is in the chest because I'm never up there anymore, but there is one there, and if the chunks are loaded, it runs. Albeit painfully slowly. In my old single player world, the advantage is everything in the area is lit, like within the spawn chunks, and it's also a very old world at this point, so it's had the advantage of a large, voluminous amounts of time to run. Next. They might be having problems because my running back and forth is unloading chunks. Side effect of huge, enormous bases. When you're in one end of the base, the other end is completely unloaded. And they won't wander into unloaded chunks, so they're only wandering that way because those chunks aren't unloaded. There should be plenty of workstations for them. I'm thinking that I might be running into where the ones over at this end are getting to be all full because of the chunk loading. I'm not sure if the data packs are working or not, but at the moment I don't want to do any end busting because flying is problematic at the moment. Worse than usual. Or worse than it was. And you really need to be able to fly to do that well. I'm gonna stand here for a moment whilst I take a drink. not doing any good by being trapped in there, so... And this way I don't need a breeder. Would not surprise me to end up being completely inundated with villagers, though. I do still plan on putting mossy and cracked stone brick in the walls, I just haven't done that. And I was thinking, since I worked on this project last stream that I did stream, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Just go ahead and get these little guys over there. Bunch of unemployed guys. There you go. Now you can converse without having one of you be stuck in the cart. I remember running into that problem in my first season world. The breeder was so far away that they would end up in unloaded chunks, or one guy would just get into the unloaded chunks and then, because he stops moving, it bounces the other minecarts back. Of course, I was doing a lot of the villager moving off camera, so I was able to have both accounts on at once. They seem to be obscured and dark. I'm guessing no zombies have spawned there, partially because I haven't been in the area long enough for that, and also because the slime blocks, the space is occupied by villagers, so it probably thinks that there isn't anywhere for a zombie to spawn. I think I still have bread. I guess this guy's a nitwit, so he's never going to find a job. Yeah, I was trying to get those guys to breed, so I threw a bunch of bread in. I was doing some reading on the wiki, and it takes less bread than it does carrots, potatoes, or beets to get them to breed. If I remember right, it's 12 potatoes, or 12 carrots, or 3 bread. Should theoretically be enough to get you a new villager. I'm just gonna toss it at somebody. Have some bread. Nitwit. I may slay him later, but I'm not gonna do it how you would normally, like kill him with an axe or a sword or something. Because of the whole way the village mechanics work, it'd probably be good to suffocate him with sand or something. Something like that rather than outright kill him. Because then it counts as environmental damage. I haven't tested in this version of Minecraft, but I do know at one point the villagers would walk into a cactus and just stand there as they get injured. I'm not sure if that was ever fixed or not. You're a guy that can get a job, though. The other guy already has a job. The village idiots. Now that I have a regular supply of name tags, I could name tag him too. Name him the village idiot. Rubber band. Librarians. New ones. I'm not sure if the other guys wandered off too far or what. I was also thinking the forced open door might be a good idea to close that. Yeah, because of that problem. They wandered in. Well, if I do that, they should be able to wander out, but they won't be able to get back in. I think. I might have to boat them out of that room. I don't think they wandered far enough to get to that door. In fact, I think after I get this next villager and also sleep the night away, I might go grab some boats and see about moving those guys. Oh, I'm not worried about them getting killed. They're stuck. Because they wandered through the door and the door was held open with a lever. I bet more than one of these guys has tried to claim that bed that they can't get to. Because of how far they've been wandering. I think there were 3 of them in there. The server's been doing okay, mostly because I'm generally the only person on. Now, I know you guys should have beds. Those ones are occupied too, so is that one. And that one. Might have to go further over. That could be what it is that they're not picking up the beds over there. Yeah. I'm thinking I might have to redo some of it. Or shuffle some stuff around a little bit. But first, let's go grab some boats to try to get those guys unstuck. Go somewhere higher villager. Let's see now. That ought to be plenty of boats. Let's see about unsticking those guys. There's plenty of beds around, it's a matter of where they're located. I have noticed none of them have come over this way at all, hardly. So it's probably something that's going to have to be addressed. I'm thinking I may end up having to build housing over here as well as extending the trading area. Jeez, you idiots. Go. Man, these guys are idiots. One for you. I'm going to take all the boats outside and then I'm going to build the wall back up. Because they wandered through that hole. Because the door was open. Annoying as I'll get at. Tolerable, but annoying. There. I don't think I wander quite that far, so. I now have a cat. Stray cat. It's a valid village. Oh, with one of the new cats being Jelly, Scar's cat, in my first world I went to that first village I have, and the first stray cat I find is Jelly. Other people are struggling to find her. That's actually a really good sign. Alright, back to retrieving villagers here after I take another drink. It's thirsty work anyways from all the talking, and then you have in addition to that, the temperature gets pretty high. I'm sitting at 77 freedom heights. Or for those who don't speak Fahrenheit, it's like 26 point something C. $27C or so. Part of my idea with having the bell be more over this way was so that they would actually spread out a little more. So far, it looks like all those beds over there and the ones over there are outside of their detection range, which is unfortunate. Used to be pretty easy to determine where the center was because you could divide it up by the doors that they're seeing. But you have to know what doors they're seeing. That's actually one of the problems in my first season world with the exterior village. It's so large, there's actually a lot of houses that aren't counted as houses. It'd be a legitimate village house, but it's not being detected that way. Because they all tend to wander towards the village center, and as they wander towards the village center, if the doors are outside of the radius of that, then it stops being picked up. I'm gonna grab a few more. This might be enough to grab all of them, but I don't know. I think they've been breeding while I've been here. While I've been doing this. Server lag mesh? So I may end up bringing over more than 40 villagers from the one holding cell, because they keep breeding. If I remember right, with the restocking thing going on, basically it means that they unlock their own trades. I think. And I've not traded with you yet. You're a different librarian than the one that was there earlier. Okay. But yeah, basically, I have yet to trade with you. Looks like a cocoa bean farm might be in order. So I can get some brown wool. That could be that other problem that I've read about, where they wander too far and so they wander completely out of range of the village. And so that workstation's now available because there isn't a villager associated to it because the guy that was associated to it walked off. That could be a problem too. I think the next night cycle I'm going to just let it run and then go see where the villagers go. Because I'm thinking they're just not picking up those other beds at all. I'm thinking what it is that it's just they're out of range. It's within so many blocks of what they see as the center, but I don't know where the center is. But I have a feeling the center isn't where I want it to be. And at the moment, I have no way of... I don't know how I would actually go about checking on any of that. And because they've redone how villages are detected and made and whatnot, the old bounding box mod won't help much. It'll tell me things like that there is a village, but because of the way it's changed, I don't know if it'll... I'm not sure if it would actually detect that there's a village there. So I think there's too many librarians. Not enough workstations for the number of librarians there are. I think I'm gonna go get one more guy. And since we're heading towards the end of the stream, I think this will probably be the night to see if anybody... see if that bed's problem is what I think it is. That complicates things a bit, but I think I can work with it. But as it turns nighttime, they should all go to bed if they have one. If they don't have one, then it's going to be a problem because there's plenty of beds. It means they're not picking them all up. I think there's only one villager in there. A couple of weeks ago I had a wandering trader. So I know they're picking up those beds, but I don't think they're picking up the other beds that are available. I'll let it go through a full day-night cycle to check. Because I remember all these beds being occupied the other day. In-game day. Alright, somebody in there, somebody in there. That guy's not centered in the bed. There's a guy in there, but he's not centered. I think one of those beds might be that guy's. Yeah. I think they're not picking up those other beds are there. Temporarily, I think I'm just going to slap down some beds for these guys. Because I have plenty of beds, that's not a problem. See if that helps any. Kinda need a full day night cycle of pass to find out. I think there's some guys in some of these houses too, but I'm not sure. Yeah, there's a guy in there. Guy in there. Sounds over this way. Got three guys in there. They all want that same bed. Yeah, they're not picking those up either. Somebody in there. Somebody in there. Yeah, that's what it is. They're just not detecting the beds. Because there's three of them. They're just not detecting far enough over. A couple of guys that still haven't gotten to bed yet. Bed there. As most of them are now in beds. See where you go. There was one other extra villager in there, and I don't know where he went. Immediately. Because they're immediately occupying it, it tells me they don't have beds. Gotta grab some more. So you got a bed, and you're getting a bed now. They're definitely not picking up all those other beds. See if there's any more bedless guys wandering around. There are a couple. Alright, that's most of the villagers. I think it's actually everybody. I haven't seen anybody roaming about. Yeah, they're definitely not picking those up. I don't think these are in range either. Go ahead and slip through the night. So these beds are out of range. That's why there's no farmers. The farm is out of range. Alright, good to know. There's that one extra bed there. Never mind. They keep breeding too, it's not helping. I wouldn't say it's an overpopulation thing, I'd say it's more of a getting the village centered where I want it problem. And this should be the last guy to take over there, and I'm gonna need another bed. Which is fine, because there's plenty of beds. This guy's a nitwit, otherwise I would try to make him a farmer, but, yeah, that's, don't need to worry about that. There'll be more when I get the other section unloaded. I suppose nitwits are technically the only villager that is never technically unemployed. He has no workstation, so... I mean, unless I add a sandwich board or something. Tells me the village's center's over here somewhere. There. That's the last of you guys, and there needs to be one extra bed because that one, there's a baby villager. I'll plunk that bed down here. They do wander over this way, but I'm not sure if they're using these workstations or not. They might be. Ah, fisherman. You get a bucket of cod off of that guy. Huh. I heard working noises. Diamond pickaxe. Unbreaking 1. Weaponsmith. Iron sword. Oh yeah, there's also this little... Should close those doors. I don't think anybody's gone that way. As they wander around, I'm hoping they'll pick this stuff up, but it doesn't look like they're going to. So I think for the next round, I'm going to want to pull the rails all the way over here. Plop them down over here somewhere. Uh-oh. Lost connection to the chat server. That's not good. Fortunately, I'm thinking that I'm going to make this the end of the stream anyways. Where should I dump that? I'll dump it. Dump it in there for now. It is probably most fortuitous that this is the end of the stream. Anyways, I think I'm going to call it here. I always just go over here at the end of the stream. Close my doors. Oh, I was going to do one more thing over here. Because it looks like the elevator problem was fixed in the release, I think for now, if I can find it, I'm going to take that one off the list. For now. Tentatively. Since it seems to actually be working now. Not that has that one. I got more boats. Anyways, I do hope everybody enjoyed. Watched, and I want to thank everyone for their follows again. And I'll be here again next week, about the same time, 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. or so, give or take. Today a little bit less. every Wednesday. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye bye.